Thank you to everyone coming back, and a big welcome to anyone who's first time.
Run while you can.
I got a pretty cool idea from Alizee. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, she did a video about glitches in the Matrix. I thought it was a pretty cool idea, so I'm gonna do something similar, but I don't have like Twitter followers to like give me their personal stories, so I kind of had to like research and find stories. But so who knows if these are true? I mean, who knows if anything is true? Science could be a lie and Jesus could be the Virgin Mary, so who even knows? But we're just gonna take it as it is, consider it. You don't have to take it to heart and you don't have to follow it like it's your life's purpose. But we can just have a little fun and consider just in a Matrix. I also have my own personal glitch story, which for the longest time I felt like I was pretty insane for. I still kind of feel insane about it, but reading this kind of makes me feel like a little bit more comforted that like life is just a little bit crazy for everyone, a little unexplainable for everyone. I'm just gonna read these here for you. So this first one it kind of freaks me out a little bit because my dad literally told me the same story before. Like, I don't know if this is just like one of those like urban legends that like people tell each other to scare each other, or if this is like an actual like shared experience. But here we go. When I was about 7, my brother called me into our shared room one night to tell me to come and look at the floating face in the middle of the room. I went, and sure enough, there was a face, no distinctive features, that was just glowing and floating in the middle of the room. I freaked out and ran out of the room with my brother following closely behind. We went and got my dad to come have a look. However, when we looked back in the room, it was gone. He suggested it was possibly a reflection/light from the car headlights coming through the front door, glass panels, that caused it. I accepted this at first, but the next day I realized that from where the front door was located, there was an L-shaped corridor to our bedroom, so therefore it couldn't have possibly been a reflection or some sort of other light source coming through the front door. Like I said, my dad told me this story, like with my aunt. He said that he was the one that saw the face in my aunt's room, so this one just hit a little deep. This one has a title. It's called The Teleporting Mother. When I was young, me and my older brother were talking about something at the bottom of the steps of our house, sitting next to each other. Mind you, the full length of the steps could only fit us two as we sat, so if anyone wanted to get up or down the stairs, one of us had to get up and move to let them pass. So here we are talking, and my mom comes walking downstairs telling us, "Excuse me," so that she could get past. I got up, let her pass, then sat right back down as she headed to the kitchen. All is good. For at least another 2 minutes or so, nobody having come to access the stairs since then all of a sudden my mom comes from upstairs in her room and walks yet again down the stairs. Excuse me. By reflex, my brother gets up to let her pass, and as she heads towards the kitchen, my brother sits back down and I suddenly get a wave of shock across my face. How did she get back upstairs? How did you get back upstairs, Mom? I thought it was just me for like a split second, until I looked at my brother only to realize he too was in shock. We both verified each other's confusion, asking what the heck just happened. This was a time before smartphones and before I had the privilege to play on a Game Boy or some other really distracting gadget. I mean, I get your point, but okay, boomer. literally just sitting there, staring at the wall, talking about random stuff, so we found it very hard to believe we were so deep in imagination or disconnected from reality that we hadn't noticed my mom come back up the stairs. I don't know, I feel like even if you, like, are, like, zoning out, like, that's something that, like, you have to move, you know what I mean? Like, if she climbed over you, like, you would notice, right? We were so perplexed, we refused to consider that she had taken the stairs to get back up. I went outside to the backyard to see if there was some work she was doing out back, looking for a ladder or something. I mean, this was a 2-story house with no easy way to the second floor other than stairs, so there had to be some other explanation, but there was none. No work being done outside. Nothing. The scientific side in me understands that we were most likely in an extremely rare occasion where both me and my brother experienced selective attention at the exact same time, which so happened to occur at the exact same time my mother was likely to go back up the stairs. And I do find it fascinating how neither myself nor my brother remembered getting up to let her pass, like we were running on extreme autopilot with no recording of the event whatsoever. My mom had no idea what I was talking about when I asked her about it later. This leaves just a very narrow set of possible conclusions. 1. She took a freaking ladder and climbed into her bedroom and came back out to go back downstairs. 2. Me and my brother simply just did not register the event of her going back upstairs, which I find this odd because the way my brain works, I find it physically impossible to ignore any external stimuli, no matter how small, irrespective of how deep in thought it might have been. Yeah, I feel the same, like you would, like... Or 3, it's a simulation. Definitely not a compiler error, but a runtime error. Whatever algorithms are used to regulate our spatial positioning in the simulated universe, there is definitely a glitch/bug. That specific method that either teleported my mother back upstairs, erased her memory of the event, or shorted out her memory banks for a few seconds to record the event. I would be able to trust my mom after that. I'm honestly... This person has 2 stories. 1. At work, I place a red container on the sink after lunch. The work kitchen has a completely empty bench as we must all clear it after use. I obviously played a little loose with this. An hour later or so, I went to retrieve my container so I wouldn't forget it. It was gone. No one had taken it, and the bench is gray and clean. I hunt through the empty cupboards to no avail. Exasperated, I go back to my desk and see that my teacup is dangerously low in liquids. Oh, honey, you better fill up that teacup. I return to the kitchen to see the red container on the sink, drying off as I'd left it. No one has walked past me into the kitchen to replace it either. I feel like everyone has had like a situation like that where like you're looking for something, you swear that you put it somewhere. It's not there, and then you look there again and it's there again. Am I wrong? I've had like, that's like every day of my life, honestly. I just blame it on my inability to remember, but like, I swear there's times where I'll put something down, just kind of like poofs away for a couple minutes and comes back when it's ready. I don't know the logic behind it. 2. I will often stress out about work that I have either not completed or if I know there's urgent work to do the next day. I will painstakingly go through it in my mind, planning out what I will do and how to complete it. On 2 occasions, I've arrived at work the next day to find the work has been done as I thought. No, I don't get up late at night to pore over statistics. Honestly, where are you working though? Because that sounds like a dimensional rift I want to be in. I have a ring that is missing. It went flying off my finger while I was pointing and saw the direction it went. It flew in the direction of a chest of drawers. There is no way it could be too much further than said piece of furniture, because it's right in front of the wall, right up against it in the corner. But the ring, no sight of it since that day. What happened was, the ring is actually from the future. So when you got it in the past, it was actually after it flew off your finger from the future. Once I was walking from my apartment to campus. I left the house at 8:05. It was a half-hour walk. I had my watch and all of my clocks set to the ones on campus. I stopped for a while to look at a fairy ring, in this case, a circle of mushrooms. When I arrived at the commons area, the clock said 8:06. I'm not the best at math, but I know that does not add up. I was playing football with my friends. I was running fast in a forward direction and tripped over a tuft of grass. Can you run fast in a backwards direction too? I threw my hands out in front of my face and fell flat towards the floor. I was about an inch or two above hitting the ground, then all of a sudden it felt like I was on a cushion of air, and I spun around 180 degrees and was facing the opposite direction. I did not hit the floor at all, just swished from a flat position near the floor to being stood facing the opposite way. My friend came up and said, "What the hell just happened?" I said, "I don't know, but it felt like I was floating on a cushion of air." And then we both just puzzled about it for a while. Do you have superpowers? Okay, this one gave me chills. This one is freaky. Honestly, like I don't know what it is about it. Whether the person just describes it really well or what, or if it's just such a, everyone goes to the grocery store, so that's a common experience. So I guess everyone can relate to this in a way, but it's just there's something. Just today, 2019. I mean, today isn't 2019 anymore, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. My mom and I went to our local grocery store that we have gone to many times before. We know every employee there, and they usually know us. So, we go to the deli section of the store, and it seems like everybody is staring at us like we did something weird. My mom asked me if anything seemed off, and I, who was kind of freaking out already, agreed. The line, despite only having 2 people in front of us, seemed to take an unusually long time. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, I notice a couple at the other side of the deli. They're there for the whole time that we're at the deli, and I see them being handed the same box at least twice. While this is happening, 2 strange workers simultaneously laugh in a very stiff manner and say, "Ha ha ha, that makes me laugh." When we finally take our order and we get our food, my mom asks for the receipt, and the worker, who we've never seen before, just stares at us before walking away. Before this, while the man was getting food from the back, another worker, one of the laughing ones who we've never seen, stares straight at us and says, "Hi, can I help? Who's next?" Then, without missing a beat, she walks forward a couple steps, stares at another customer and says, "Hi, can I help? Who's next?" Same tone. When we got our food and went to the checkout stand, we noticed that despite it being very busy, the store was almost silent. The checker, who we also didn't recognize, didn't ask us a single question, not even, "Did you find everything all right?" Then, when we were finally done, the bagger asked, "Can I help you out?" My mom said no, and then after a moment's pause, he very tonelessly said, "Oh." Creepiest experience of my life, and I'm glad we're out of there now. Yeah, honestly, that's this one is my favorite. This one is it's about deja vu kind of, and I don't know about you guys, but I experience deja vu not a lot, but when I do, it's I have been here before, you know what I mean? You are just I've done this before, I know it. Now, deja vu is very common. Most of the people have experienced it many times in their life, even me. But I'm pretty sure I encountered a glitch because it was shared with a friend. We had decided we shall go on a road trip to a place around 350 kilometers away on a bike, just the 2 of us. We started early morning around 5 a.m. from our house. It was still dark. We rode around 50 kilometers and thought we would stop for a tea break. We're on a highway with small shops on either side of the road. There was people selling tea, coffee, Maggi, poha, rice flakes, and breakfast snacks. We kept on passing many shops and finally stopped at one random shop called Alizee Snacks. We had poha and tea and left from there. I was using Google Maps to navigate, Since we were supposed to be on the highway for another 60 kilometers, there was no point in constantly seeing my phone. Just a single stretch on the same highway. After the stop, we started riding towards our destination in the same highway. Around 10 to 15 minutes, things started getting strange. We started seeing the same kind of shops on the side of the road, which we have already seen 10 kilometers back before we'd stopped for breakfast. There was this juice shop, egg Maggie shop, snack shop. The funny part was some shop boards, I remember seeing them clearly the first time and they were repeating. Same color of the board, same shop name, same font. Now this is a glitch. I thought we should eventually reach the shop where we had breakfast and tea 15 minutes back. I would eat snacks. And like a scary dream, we've reached the exact same shop. Same name, same board, same cart, same water can on the road to wash hands. Everything was the same, including the person who was cooking. We asked him, "Brother, we just ate at your shop 15 to 20 minutes back." He's like, "Sir, I'm seeing you for the first time. What do you mean you saw me?" Now, me and my friend were not tripping or high. Well, I'm very happy that you weren't tripping or high while you're riding your bike on the highway. It was around 6:30 in the morning and we were completely sober. We got terrified. If this deja vu was only experienced by me, I can understand. But my friend is with me, and we're both sharing the same deja vu. I just shrugged it off, saying, "Screw it, let's leave," but my friend wanted to check once. So we took a difficult U-turn on the highway, and we rode back for around 15 minutes to a half an hour, and we could never find the place we had breakfast earlier. As per Google Maps, the only shop by that name is where we found the second time. So basically, the bottom line is, we reached point A, had breakfast, continued traveling ahead, and somehow again reached point A, except nobody is aware of this other than me and my friend. Funny thing is, we even had water bottle and 2 cigarettes which we had bought from the shop when we had breakfast the first time we encountered it. To this day, I feel strange and somewhat empty not knowing how this is possible. Just feel it's a glitch in the matrix. Could you imagine being on either end of that interaction? "Hello, brother, we just ate at your shop 15 to 20 minutes back. Sir, I am seeing you for the first time. What do you mean you saw me?" For my personal glitch story, so me and 3 of my friends were driving on, okay, I need to explain to you this road. Okay, this road comes out of town. Once you get to a certain point of the road, there is like 2 to 3 miles where you cannot turn off of this road. You are on this road and you're on it for good, right? And where the road comes to an end is a T. Very complicated to turn around on this road once you get on it, okay? So we're driving out of town on the road. I remember, for me, it didn't seem like much at first because whenever I'm on car rides, I kind of like dissociate a little bit. So like I'm kind of like spacing out, you know, like starting to like dissociate a little. Then all of a sudden I come to and like me and my friends all look at each other and we're just like, I don't know, it felt a little like different than normal. Usually whenever I like, you know, come back to reality, it's kind of like a snap back. This was more of like, we all felt strange and still kind of out of it. On top of that, we were now going back into town on the road. What felt like to us was literally like 2 minutes, if that, of being dissociated. We had somehow completely turned around on this road before we could have even turned off of the road. And on top of that, a half an hour of time has passed by. So unless we all dissociated for a half an hour and somehow drove all over to get back onto this road while being out of it, our best logical guess of that was aliens. Like, I'm not even kidding you. We could not think of any like logical reasoning as to how we got back onto the road like that. Like, it's a glitch. Aliens. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any glitch stories, or even like, you know, things that are like more along the lines of ghost stories, or like that like weird manifestation story where that lady was like, I thought about my work and it happened, like, feel free to leave them in the comments. I love hearing weird stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in my next video.